Hi guys, good afternoon. I am Senior Leah Yonker, and today I'm going to be your instructor on physical fitness for the elderly. So what kind of really made me choose this topic in the first place was because since this whole COVID-19 situation happened, everyone is outdoors. Everyone is outside walking around. Everyone is either walking, running, working out, outside. You see a ton of people all the time. So one day last week I was outside and I'm just walking my dogs at this track, and this older gentleman, he has his sweatband on, wristbands on, he has a little pouch on his arm, and he has his headphones in, and he is just zooming past me. He's not running, he's just super fast speed walking. And I was like, wow, that's pretty cool that this older gentleman is actually out here getting his fitness on when, most people are just sitting out at home, not really doing much. So I thought that was pretty cool. And that's kind of what we're going to be talking about today. So just keep in mind that we are going to be talking about creating a 1-week exercise plan for a person age 65 years or older. And what kind of made me choose 65 years or older is, the elderly people are out there in the world right now, and some of them are not in such good shape. Some of them are in really excellent shape, like the guy that was zooming past me at the track. And for the people that are kind of sedentary and they don't really get active much, they just stay inside and they just watch TV, wake up, go to bed, and just repeat that kind of cycle. That's kind of who we're targeting this exercise plan for. So we're going to be designing a exercise plan for a person who's 65 years or older. Our objectives, or what we're going to be talking about today, is the importance of exercise, so why it's important for the elderly people to exercise. We're going to talk about some benefits and risks of not exercising versus actually exercising. We're going to talk about some different types of exercises that elderly people can do. We're going to talk about pre-testing, so that way we can make our exercise plan for them. We're going to actually create a program for the elderly people to do. It's going to be a 1-week program. And then we're going to talk about monitoring the progress throughout the program that we prescribe these people. So, why is exercise important? Anyone tell me why exercise is important? All right, exercise is important for multiple different reasons. Exercise helps you stay happy, helps you stay healthy. There's so many different variations and benefits of working out, exercising, staying active, just getting out and moving, not just sitting on your couch all day long or just running to the grocery store, going back home and eating the bag of chips you just bought. There's so many benefits out there for working out and exercising, and that's what we're going to talk about. All right, so exercise can help the elderly live a longer and healthier life. I know every single person out there that I've ever talked to loves their grandparents more than anything in the world. And the number one thing that people wish that could happen is, their grandparents live a long and healthy life. No one wants to see their grandparents at age 70 suffering from cardiovascular diseases or heart problems or anything like that. So one of the things that exercise can really help with is actually keeping them healthy. And we're going to talk about a little bit of the benefits for what could happen to them if they do exercise, if they do have some type of cardiovascular disease already, or if they're not in the greatest of shape. So we're going to talk about that. And when they are happy and healthy, that means that they have more time with you. They have more time to spend with the grandkids. They have more time to spend with you. Go out, have fun, go to birthday parties, do whatever it is that you and your grandparents love to do. So the benefits of exercising. It improves your strength. When you're stronger, when the elderly are stronger, it's going to help them stay mobile, so that way they can stay active and get out there and do things. It's going to help improve their balance. A lot of the times when older people get up there in age, they start to lose their balance because their muscles are not as strong anymore, their bones are not as strong anymore, the food that they eat don't process the nutrients the same anymore, so they get lower in a lot of the muscle tone and their bone density and stuff like that. So it really helps to improve their balance, so that way they don't fall as much. I know my husband, he has a grandma who lives out in Wisconsin, and she's up there in age. She's almost in her 90s now, and she has fallen maybe like 5 times within the past couple of years. So really, like, recently she just fell this past Christmas, I want to say. So she had to have a hip surgery after that one, and if she would have just done a couple of balance exercises, a couple of strength exercises while she's just sitting at home and, watching her TV, she could have improved her chances for not falling, because she would have better balance and more strength. Benefits of exercising: it also improves your cognitive function. So you working out, you feel good, you're getting out there, getting active, your brain is going to work better, your mind is going to work better, and it's not going to have to work as hard as if you were not being active. It also prevents or delays diseases such as heart disease, diabetes, or osteoporosis. So like I said earlier, a lot of the times whenever we age, our bodies don't process nutrients the same as it used to when we're younger and in our 20s. Our bones are not as strong anymore, so it could lead to osteoporosis. I know a lot of older females are at risk for osteoporosis because our bodies just don't take in enough calcium anymore like they used to when we're younger. So we're at risk for osteoporosis. Diabetes: if elderly people have diabetes, exercise could help them to lower their blood pressure and help help their bodies to not feel the effects of diabetes as much. So it could help their bodies. A couple of the risks of not working out, living a sedentary lifestyle for the elderly: there is reduced muscle mass. So like I said earlier, as we get older, our bodies are deteriorating every single day. No matter what we do, our bodies are deteriorating. That's just how life is. So with not working out, living a sedentary lifestyle, you wake up, you sit on your couch, you walk to the kitchen, you walk back to your couch, you go back to the kitchen for dinner, you go to bed and call it a day. That's not really good for your body. So your body is going to start losing its muscle mass. So you're not going to be as strong anymore. Your legs aren't going to be as strong to keep themselves up and moving and helping your body to get along throughout your daily activities. So then your daily activities are going to suffer in the end. There is a loss of bone strength. As I said, a lot of women are at risk. A lot of older women are at risk for osteoporosis. And your bone strength is one of those things that you can't get back. You can take supplements, you can take calcium, vitamin D, whatever it is that you want to take. It's only going to go so far to helping your bones. So loss of bone strength can also lead to falling down and losing your balance a lot of the time. So decreases in balance and coordination. So when you're not moving and your body is just deteriorating, you're not able to stand as well as you are. You're not able to bend over and pick up something if you drop it on the ground. You're not able to do much for yourself really anymore because your balance is not that great. And I know a lot of people, older people, have walkers and canes, and some people are even in wheelchairs because their bodies can't support their weight anymore, so they have to get along somehow. So they utilize the support of walkers, canes, those are the same thing, canes and wheelchairs. So that can lead to decreases in balance and coordination. Increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. So as I said earlier, if we're just sitting around and we're living a sedentary lifestyle and we're not out doing much, and it doesn't take much to be active at all. It doesn't. We as active duty military members know that you can do a little bit of a workout in one day and you can be good. You can just, continue on with what you're doing and we'll be good because our bodies they're used to it, and we're not up there in age. And if you are, but you're working on your fitness every single day. But however, elderly people, they're not out there working on their fitness. They're not at the track running laps and doing miles and lifting weights. And if you do see those people, that's great because those people are on the right track. So decreases or increased risk of cardiovascular diseases. They can have heart disease, they can have other cardiovascular diseases that could be preventable or help in not occurring so fast because of doing exercise. So those are some of the risks that we talked about that could happen. The types of exercises. So there's plenty of different types of exercises out there. There's HIIT training, there is marathon training, there's resistance training, strength training, so many different kinds of trainings out there that we can do. So a lot of the times this can get really overwhelming for people, especially if you're living a sedentary lifestyle and you don't really work out, you don't really know how to work out, where to work out, what you need to work out with, any of that. So we're going to go over 3 different types of exercise today. So we're going to go over resistance training, we're going to go over cardio training, and we're going to go over balance, because a lot of the times older people, they lose their balance. So pre-testing, let me go back for just a second. So the types of exercise. So resistance training is anything that uses your own body weight and pushes against gravity. So you do a squat, or you lift kettlebells and you're lifting it up. You're going against gravity and you're putting resistance onto your body. So that's kind of what resistance training is. This guy here, he is lifting a bar behind his head. This lady is lifting a kettlebell. And although the kettlebell and the weight might not be as strong, older people are not really needing to be strong men. You know, they don't need to be lifting 500 pounds at one time. They just need to be doing a little bit, because a little bit adds up. These people up here, they're doing some stretching to make sure that they're flexible, which also helps out with their balance. And then these people up here are doing some cardio training. So now pre-testing. The pre-test that we're going to go over for today is the sit and reach, the push-up and sit-up test, the best test, and the 1 rep max. So the reason that we are conducting pre-testing is so that we can kind of gauge where these people are before we prescribe them an exercise plan, because you're different from the way that I work out. You could be different from the way that you do your squats, something like that. So no workout plan is the same for any one person. So I can have a workout plan that my grandma could have also, but she's not going to be doing the same type of workouts that I'm going to be doing, because I have a different goal than she does. And that's a part of why we want to conduct the pre-testing, so that way we can see what these people's goals are, what they want to achieve. Most of the time it's just to get up and get active, just get out of the house. So we're going to conduct this pre-testing, and we're going to talk about each test right now. So the sit and reach. Typically, this sit and reach is done with a person sitting on the ground. And what you do, you put your hands on top of each other like this, and your fingertips are touching. You're sitting on the ground, and then you're just reaching forward as far as you can go to touch your toes. And this is going to test your flexibility to see if you need to have some flexibility exercises in there. For older people who don't really have that well of flexibility, they can sit in a chair and they can do the same process. And we're just going to get those measurements. The push-up and sit-up test. So we all know what a push-up is. We're in the Air Force. A push-up, what they're going to do, they're just going to do it in as many as they can within 1 minute. The sit-ups is going to be the same thing. We're going to time them for 1 minute, and they're just going to perform as many sit-ups as they can. And we're going to try to count the ones that have the best form, because if you're doing something that doesn't have the best form, there's kind of no purpose in that. So after we have them do the push-ups and the sit-ups, we are going to kind of rate them on this scale. So the classifications over here is how they're rated. So we have good, excellent, average, below average, poor, and this is just how they perform. So let's say that we have a 62-year-old female who did 6 push-ups in 1 minute. What would the classification for her be? What would her classification be? So if we go over here to the female section, she's 62 years old, so we're going to be in the 62-year-old category, and she did 6 push-ups. So 6 push-ups is in the below average classification, so she's going to be below average in that classification. For the sit-ups, what would the classification be for a 69-year-old male who does 22 sit-ups? So we go over to our classification sheet for the men, we look, and he's in his 60s, he did 22, so he's going to be in the good classification. So our best test just kind of, excuse me, the best test is a way to test the balance, so to see if we need to work on their balance when we prescribe them the workout plan. So we're going to count the errors that they have. Some of the errors in here is if they open their eyes, because this is done with your eyes closed. If they move their hands off of their back, off of their hips here, as you can see, if they stumble or fall, if the hip goes out more than 30 degrees, or if they remain out of the proper testing position for greater than 5 seconds. Any of those are errors that we're going to count, and we're going to document those on the best test score sheet right here. And all this tells you is just, do we need to work on their balance more than anything? So the higher numbers that they have, the worse that they did. So higher numbers are bad, and the lower scores that they have are good. So that means the less mess ups that they had. So their balance doesn't really need to be worked on that much. The one rep max. So what we're going to do for this, we're going to choose an exercise machine by muscle groups. So we're going to work the shoulders, the arms, the abs, the legs, and then we're going to go and we're going to find their max weight that they can lift or push or whatever machine that whatever that machine does. So if their if their one rep max is 50 pounds on the chest press, then that's what their max is going to be, and that's what their baseline is going to be for our exercise prescription that we get them. And then after we find their weight max, we're going to document those numbers. Actually creating a workout plan, we're going to include the exercises based on the findings from the pre-testing. So like I said, if your best test has really high numbers, so meaning they did really bad, we're going to include more balance exercises in there. We're going to kind of talk about that in just a little bit. We're going to schedule the exercises for 3 to 5 days a week. That's what the CDC suggests, and they recommend 2.5 to 5 hours of moderate exercise a week. So that's what we can kind of work into a workout plan. We also need to take into consideration the lifestyle that they live. If they live a busy working life, if they're watching their grandkids all the time, or if they just have all day to do workouts. We're going to always include a short warm-up and a cool down, and then the number of repetitions are based on the limitations of the client. So if they can't do 20 reps, we're not gonna make them do 20 reps. We're gonna make them do like 5 or so, wherever they're comfortable at. The application. So with the handouts below and the given information, let's actually create a workout plan. So this is the numbers for the sit and reach test. This is the chart for the push-ups and sit-up test. This is the best test score sheet and the one rep max score sheet. So we're just going to write the exercises that we have them perform on the machines, one repetition, and then the amount of weight that they were able to do. For the best, we just go on both a firm surface and a foam surface, and we're going to document those numbers. And same with the push-ups and sit-ups. So a sample exercise for a woman who is 65 years old with a sedentary lifestyle and no prior experience. What we're going to have her do is just a couple of workouts per day based on the CDC's recommendations. So Monday, we're going to have her do cardio. We're going to do a 20-minute walk or 15-minute bike on a stationary bike. Tuesday is going to be resistance exercises. She can either use a machine that we tested on, or we can do body weight exercises. Rest day on Wednesday. Balance. For balance exercises, you can come up with some balance exercises. You can look them up on Google, or you can just have them do yoga. Yoga is a really good way to test balance. And that's just what the workout plan looks like. You can document it however you want to. For monitoring progress, What is the purpose of monitoring progress? Can anyone tell me that? So for monitoring progress, we want to make sure that what we are prescribing them is actually working. It's actually doing something for that person. They are able to get better and progress. So they're only able to do 4 sit-ups during your pre-testing. At the end of your prescription that you give them, they're able to do 10. So that's progress right there. It's not a lot of progress, but it's something, which is better than nothing. So it's always important to monitor the progress throughout the prescription and afterwards also. And all right, folks, that's a wrap. We just created an exercise plan for the elderly. Great job. Virtual because we can't be in person, 6 feet distance. All right, so in conclusion, we talked about the importance of exercising for the elderly. We talked about the different risks and benefits for exercising and not exercising. We talked about the different types of exercises that they can do: resistance training, cardio training, balance training. We talked about the different types of pre-testing that you can do to see where they're at and what you need to have them prescribed in your plan that you create for them. We talked about actually creating a program and what goes into that. And then we also talked about monitoring the progress throughout and afterwards. All right, so get up, grab grandparents, go for a walk, do something fun, get moving, anything just to get out and get moving and live a healthier, active lifestyle. So if you guys don't have any questions for me, that's all I got for you. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Bye.